Was this dirty dumpage the absolute lowest that Bitcoin's going to be going from here on out, and we're now ready to approach new all-time highs, or in fact, is there more in store? Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Richard Rumpage, and boy, what an absolute insane 24 hours for Bitcoin. But guys, are we actually now going to be heading higher for Bitcoin over the next week? We just started Monday. Are we going to now be approaching the high 30, even low $40,000 and attempting to break all-time highs by Friday of this work week? Or in fact, is there more in store? We have a lot to delve into. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Remember to leave a comment so that you can enter for a Bitcoin giveaway or access to T4. And without any further goo gaga, let's dump in. Rumpy dumpy doo. So guys, before we start off this episode, let me just play you a clip of exactly what I was expecting last night in our video last night. If we start seeing the DXY make a resurgence here, guys, that is a huge telltale sign, in my opinion, that it's very likely that we could end up trying to, we could spend a few days actually right around this level, cementing 30,000 to support. And on a macro chart, that makes a lot of sense to me. That we blow past 20,000 US dollars, we double it to 40,000 US dollars. And then if there would be any time where we'd have a cool down, maybe let's say 1 to 2 weeks cooling down around 30,000, ultimately finding a bottom at 30, I think that would be beautiful and perfect in terms of Bitcoin structure over the next few weeks. Okay, beautiful. So far Bitcoin has come down. It bounced basically right at about 30,000 US dollars. Guys, and in fact, we actually did a live stream for the first time in like 2 years earlier. Very fun, still getting used to that. It actually didn't even send out notifications to any of you guys, but we still managed to have over 6,000 people at our peak. But guys, the real question is this the end of the dump now? Are we going to be heading higher over the next few days and potentially breaking new all-time highs within this work week? Right? Currently, Bitcoin sits at around 33,000 US dollars, and we really do have a lot to be delving into. So first and foremost, this has been absolutely key to Bitcoin's current trend. Breaking back above the 21-day moving average for the DXY. It's something we were talking about back here in the middle of December and saying we'd get a rejection. Correct about that, but this time we're actually above the 21-day moving average, so really depends what goes on here. Fundamentally, this trajectory should still be down, so with that being said, if this is going to pump, Bitcoin will dump. If this dumps, Bitcoin will pump. Pretty much almost guaranteed. It's not 100%, but it is insanely inversely correlated. So that's the number one thing you have to be looking to try to predict Bitcoin's future. This chart will tell you more about which direction Bitcoin is going to go than any other chart, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, guys, we have had a dump today, and really we're going to be talking about the question, did we find a bottom? And there are a lot of signs actually pointing to this possibly yes being the bottom. We're going to go over them, but just starting here on the daily chart, one thing we do see is a huge increase in volume, and that's exactly what we want to see when we're cementing a bottom. This is huge. We had this actually the highest red candle since the crash back in March. So in the last 10 months, this was the highest dumpage candle we've seen. Very good first indication. That's exactly what we're looking for. We had this happen actually during the live stream, and that's why it was exciting, because when this happened during the live stream, it made me much more confident that, oh boy, we might have just caught the bottom of the Bitcoin drop live on the stream. And one thing also, guys, we have to keep in mind, we so far basically only went down to the 21-day moving average, which if we're looking for a long-term pullback, the 21-day moving average is legitimately the first big level in terms of a macro pullback to look for. So this is good. Pulling back to the 21-day is perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. We have this 50-day moving average all the way down at about 24,500 US dollars. And both of them are perfectly healthy. Both of them are perfectly fine. 21-day is obviously more bullish because it's higher up on the moving average. But are we going to see now a similar situation to where we saw on our last dump? Obviously, this dump was bigger. This dump was much bigger, but this dump comes after a much bigger run-up as well. This dump from about 20,000 down to about 17, at the lowest about 16,000, only came after about a, roughly about an $8,000, $9,000 run. And we had, let's take a look here, it was roughly about a almost 20% drop. Now today we actually almost reached a 30% drop with this from the top to what we've gotten so far is roughly about 27-28%. So very identical in terms of the breakout followed by a pullback, pretty much the exact same percentages for this drop as we see on this drop. And as we talked about last night, this is the very first drop since the middle of November, this same drop where we had 3 red daily candles in a row. the structure of these so far actually look very, very similar. So, so far, this is our best pullback scenario that we were talking about. It's exactly what we talked about last night when we were at 38,000 US dollars. And since we made that video, we dropped $8,000 and then bounced so far another 3,000 US dollars. So for anybody panicking, this is basically the minimum pullback that is healthy for our current trend. But it is possible now. What we're going to do over the next few days is trend sideways and basically try to reclaim 35,000 US dollars first. 35 is going to be this next big level, reclaiming 35,000 US dollars, and then we have another attempt to shoot up to new all-time highs. But I personally think it most likely could take a few days. This isn't going to be an immediate bounce to break all-time highs by Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, much needed. I was getting pretty antsy the fact that we were just going straight up for so long. But guys, if you've been in the market long enough, this isn't something that should scare you. This is something you should rejoice at and alter your portfolio, maybe accumulate more, figure out what you're going to do at these levels. This is a very good sign in the short term. And then basically we want to work our way up from the lower time frames to these higher time frames. So starting on the 1 hour, we had quite a bit of wicks here as we were doing this. We were actually recording live or streaming live when we were getting this here. And so again, this is a really good sign so far. The next thing I want to see though on this hourly chart is come up to this 21 moving average on the hourly chart and flip this. That's going to be the next key thing. Currently it's right around about 34,000. So the big battle going on right now is going to be between, or that we're going to see over the next day or two, is going to be between 34 to 36,000 US dollars. Basically this level right here that I have in this blue rectangle. So basically the level that we have to watch out for over the next 48, maybe 72 hours is how Bitcoin interacts between 34 and 36,000 US dollars. Reclaiming 36 means we're probably going to be heading up a little sooner than expected. But realistically, I think that's basically what we need to watch for now is how Bitcoin interacts at these levels. And we haven't had any bearish crosses yet on even the 4 and 6 hour. Still pretty substantially above there. We had so much volume, and that's such a good indicator. But realistically, guys, we also had the 6, 4 hour, and 1 hour bearish divergences play out, as we talked about yesterday. It was very clear there was huge bearish divergence on all of the small time frames for Bitcoin, and now we've had it play out. Okay, perfect. And also, what's really interesting, on the daily chart, guys, we had Bitcoin go from 89 or 90 on the RSI all the way down to about 57. Very good reset. Not all the way yet, but overall, this is exactly what needs to happen if we want Bitcoin to go higher. We need to get these momentum oscillators to reset, and that's exactly what we've gotten so far. And even on the weekly, guys, this dump's really good because if we look on the weekly, you can see we go from about 95 on the weekly to about 77. This is a pretty big level here, but over the next week, if we do just try to reclaim 35, maybe even, again, maybe have one more retest of 30,000 to see if 30,000 really will hold. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed only going up from here, but for the most part, we just got a really good signal that where we are right now and where we bounced right around 30, we got a really good confirmation at 30,000, so that should give you a lot of confidence. Now, it's going to be critical, like I said, the next 48, 72 hours to see if we come down to 30 again, if we hold 30, because if we go to 29, that's a different story. If we wick there, again, that's a different story. But ultimately, yeah, really good signs we're getting across the market. We reset some of these momentum oscillators. We currently have Ethereum sitting right at about 1,000 US dollars. Ethereum didn't even come down to its 21-day moving average like Bitcoin did. If we just go to Bitcoin's daily chart, yeah, Bitcoin actually touched right on its 21-day moving average. Ethereum almost got down to it. Same thing with Cardano, which we were looking at in the live stream. Litecoin actually went all the way down to its 50-day, so Litecoin actually dumped a little bit more. But yeah, main thing you want to look at, see the DXY if we're going to continue here. Specifically look at the level of about 91.2, which is that 50-day moving average, as now we're currently above the 21-day. But now we really want to see too if we backtest this 21-day, if this holds. Because if this falls, get ready for a Bitcoin pump sooner than later. And also then with the entire cryptocurrency market cap, guys, this is perfectly normal that on this weekly chart, we break to a new all-time high of like 1.1 trillion for the entire market cap, and then we backtest and we come to try to confirm this roughly around 800 billion, which is what we've seen so far. So again, all of this movement might seem scary if you bought in at 40, 41, 42,000 US dollars for the first time, but this is perfectly healthy and normal for a market that has pumped 30,000 US dollars in like 2 months or like 2.5 months. So everything we've seen so far still, in my opinion, this is like the minimum pullback. So basically, to sum it up, we've gotten a really good confirmation that $30,000 is going to be strong. It's still possible that we could retest $30,000 in the immediate short term over the next 24, 72 hours. So that's what we're going to be watching for and see how it reacts there. So even though I personally think we've found the bottom, that doesn't mean that we might not test that bottom level again, which again, we need to watch for. But overall, basically, we're still getting, if we get this daily close above this key fib level, above like 31,800, very, very bullish, guys. So overall, nothing to panic about. The market does move very fast when it dumps, very similar to here back in the end of November, like we saw in our last move. But yeah, I'm also looking for a scenario like this where we do see, if we compare where we are right now to this move, we come down to the 21-day, spend a few days, consolidating, potentially have that another retest, set a higher low instead of a lower low, maybe around 31,000 or something like that, and then set some sort of a more bullish pennant, bullish pattern. I think that's most likely over the next week. But ultimately, I personally think that roughly $30,000 is a very good level to bottom. With that being said, our weekly close yesterday brought the 21 weekly moving average up to about 18,000, which is by far the absolute lowest that I think Bitcoin could go. Okay, so even though I'm saying I personally think 30,000, 29,000 even in a wick, 28,000, 29,000 in a wick, but daily closings above 30,000 is most likely the bottom. The 21 week is something we always have to pay attention to. It's currently around 18,000 US dollars. So I'm telling you now, if you cannot stomach the idea of Bitcoin going down to 18,000 US dollars, get used to that idea. I think it's insanely unlikely to happen. I think it's actually less than a 5% chance that would happen, which is an incredibly small percent chance, but it's still a chance. Right? Technical analysis in this market is only about percentages. It's only about chances of it happening. Nothing is 100% confirmed. So with that being said, I think it's very likely, probably over a 70% chance that 30,000 is the bottom for Bitcoin. Keep in mind, still possibly could wick down to 28 or 29,000, but ultimately getting daily closes, candle closes above 30,000 is the key here. Well, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and as well, make sure to leave your comment below for the Ledger and T4 giveaways. And as well, if you're interested in trading these markets, remember, keep in mind, leverage or not, always risky. And personally, I would never use more than like 15x leverage, and I would never use more than 10% of my entire portfolio. For a limited time, you can get up to an additional $500 bonus on Bybit using my link below if you deposit up to 1.5 Bitcoin. You guys be careful, be safe, but it looks as though very good indications that we have at least found or very close to what Bitcoin's bottom is.